Hello, welcome to 8.4. Now we're going to use the skills that you've learned over the last couple of lessons to actually solve some bigger problems. So let's go. First, we need to cover some vocabulary that's going to be really repetitive in this section. We have this angle of elevation and angle of depression. These are terms that are referring to your line of sight when viewing something. You'll notice that this boy in this little cartoon always has this horizontal line, which would be like if he was looking neutrally straight in front of him, straight ahead, this horizontal line. And as he looks up towards this bird, it creates this angle. This is an angle of elevation because he's elevating his eyes. The angle of depression is not depression like the mood. Depression means to like push down. So it's as he's looking down into this tank at this crocodile, this is the angle of depression. Notice that both of these are from the horizontal. From the horizontal, that's really critical. So let's look at this in action. Here's a diagram that I've already made for you. The angle of elevation from a ship to the top of a 42-meter lighthouse, I've already marked this as 42, measures 33 degrees. So we have the horizontal, upward, we have 33 degrees. How far is the ship from the shore? So I've marked the distance from the ship to the shore of the lighthouse as y. Assume the horizontal line of sight meets the bottom of the lighthouse. We'll see a little bit later why that's important, but if the lighthouse was up on like a rocky cliff, we would only be viewing, if this was 42 feet, we would have some height in addition to that, but we'll look at a problem later where that kind of happens. So I'm going to look at this, now that I've got everything set up, I'm going to look at this angle and I'm going to think about this is the opposite side and this is the adjacent. As always, thinking through SOHCAHTOA, what do I need to use? I've got opposite and adjacent, so this is a tangent equation that I need. So I'm going to set this up as the tangent of 33 degrees equals 42 over y. Multiply both sides and divide by the tangent of 33. And then lastly, I can go ahead and use my trig table or use my calculator all in one shot. But if I use my trig table, I've got 42 over, where's 33? Sorry, guys, 0.6494. And then I can go ahead and use my calculator to get y is approximately equal to 64.7 meters. And we're all done. Here's another problem. A salvage ship's sonar locates wreckage at a 12-degree angle of depression. Okay, let's start to think about what that means. I'm going to have a ship, my very beautifully drawn ship, floating on some water. 12-degree angle of depression means that the horizontal downward is 12 degrees to the ship's line of sight to the wreckage. So there's some sunken ship down here that it's looking at. A diver is lowered 40 meters to the ocean floor. So from the boat, he goes down. This is 40 meters. We're going to have to assume for this problem that the ocean floor is even. I don't think that that's necessarily always a correct assumption, but for this problem, we're just going to have to kind of work with that. We're going to look at how the ocean and the ocean floor are parallel with this assumption, and that allows us to recognize that this angle then here is also 12 degrees. Or you could go ahead and subtract from 90 and label this as 78 degrees. From here, we need to figure out exactly what we're being asked to solve. We're asked how far does the diver need to walk along the ocean floor to the wreckage? So that's X right there. I'd like to give you guys an opportunity to try this one. Please set up an equation and try to solve for X. Okay, so you could have used multiple ways of solving this one. I see at a minimum, I've got the legs. I do not have the hypotenuse labeled, so I don't have any distance for that, so I'm not going to be using sine or cosine. I'm going to have to be using tangent. The question is whether or not you're using 78 or 12 degrees. So if you used the 78 degree angle, you should have set up an equation of tangent of 78 equals x over 40. And if you use the 12-degree angle, you would have set that up as tangent of 12 degrees equals 40 over x. I'm going to go ahead with the blue equation because it has a little bit less steps since x is already in the numerator of that fraction. All I have to do is multiply by 40. Tangent of 78 degrees equals x. I'm isolated. I'm ready to go ahead and use my table. Times 4.7046. And then lastly, I can go ahead and use my calculator. I get that x is approximately 188.184. And let's see, I'm going to go back up to check for units, and I get meters. So approximately 188 meters. We are going to also encounter problems where there's a little bit extra in addition to the triangle happening. Here's one particular instance using a tool called a clinometer, which is a tool that you're going to also be using in your lab. This boy is looking up to the top of the tree. This is the clinometer tool that he's using right there. And what that helps him do is it helps him measure this angle of elevation. It's a tool that measures your line of sight. Once he figures out that angle of elevation, let's just say, for example, that this is 23 degrees, he can also measure this distance from here to the tree in order to get the base of this right triangle. So let's say that he's 45 feet from the tree. At that point, he can solve to find this distance right here. So we're going to label this as x. So he can set up the tangent of 23 degrees equals x over 45, and he can find out that x equals 45 times the tangent of 23 degrees, and therefore x is approximately 19.1, and we'll keep labels so we know what we're keeping track of. This is not the height of the tree, though. The tree also has this portion right here, which, due to everything being parallel and assuming that this tree is nice and upright, is the same as this distance right here, which is the height from the ground to the boy's eye. It is not his height to the top of his head, but it is the height to the top of his eye. So we can just label that as D. And when I want to actually figure out the tree's height, I need to calculate x plus that distance to the boy's eye. That's the full height. We have x above, the boy needs to measure the distance to his eye and add that together. But we've got two pieces that we need to bring together in this particular case. You are going to build your own clinometer. Here's a picture of somebody using one. We're just going to build this with like a little straw. I did not include any straws in your kits, unfortunately. If that's something that you can manage to snag next time you go through a fast food restaurant, or if you happen to have some at home, that's great. But it is helpful to have the straw to really get precise with your line of sight. I did include the protractor, the string, and some weights that you can tie to the bottom of the string. Here's how the clinometer works, because you're going to use this in just a few days. When the string dangles straight and you're looking exactly straight ahead, the string should be lined up with the 90 degrees. We know that this is a flat horizontal measurement, and it's measuring 90 degrees. As you look up, so in this case, that would have your face here and your eye, my very beautiful eye right there, nose, mouth, there we go. As you're looking up through this, the string starts to deviate from 90 degrees. It's the deviation from 90 degrees right here that is actually your angle of elevation. So this angle and this angle right here are congruent. So the angle of elevation in this particular case is going to be 90 minus, and then let's see here. It looks like this is 75 and it's one past that, closer to 80, so it looks like 76. So 90 minus 76 is going to be 14. This is a 14-degree angle of elevation that we're witnessing here. Here's another clinometer. I appreciate that it's a little bit fuzzy, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to try to figure out what is this angle of elevation right here. Hopefully you've recognized again that this is measuring from 90. We're looking at a deviation from 90. I'm going to go ahead and subtract because 90 minus, it looks like this is 42 or 43. I'm going to say that this was 43 to get a total of 47 degrees as my angle of elevation in this particular case. For all types of problems that you encounter, the number one step 100% is to draw a diagram every single time. Here's one example directly from Delta Math. This sounds super complicated, and it's not a particularly easy problem. This is the hardest type of problem that you're going to be encountering in this unit. But until that diagram is there, this is absolutely meaningless. So let's read through this together and see how the diagram actually helps us solve this. A boat is heading toward a lighthouse where Aiden is watching from a vertical distance of 103 feet above the water. So his vertical distance is 103 feet. If you had labeled that somewhere else, you'd be wrong to begin with. So making sure that we're matching the diagram as we go is really important. Aiden measures an angle of depression to the boat at point A to be 18 degrees. You can see labeled in purple right here is his angle of depression to the boat at point A. At some later time, remember the boat is heading toward the lighthouse. At some later time, Aiden takes another measurement and finds the angle of depression to the boat, now at point B, to be 75 degrees. Now he's looking at the boat, which has gone closer. That angle of depression is now 75 degrees. Find the distance from point A to point B. Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a foot if necessary. So they are asking for us to find this distance right here. Looks really complicated at first, but if you start to piece it apart, it shouldn't be too bad. We've got two right triangles right here. We have a right triangle right there, which I can label up with a height of 103. I know that this is 75 degrees, so I know that inside I have 15 degrees. And then I have a second triangle right here. Longer base to it, but the same height of 103 degrees. Outside the triangle is 18 degrees, which means that inside I have 62 degrees. If I can find this total distance, I'm going to call that T, minus the shorter distance, I'm going to find the X that I need to get. So X is going to equal that total distance minus the shorter distance. You just have to solve two little different triangles right here and then find the difference between them. So there's my hint for you on a problem like this. I'm going to ask you to kind of puzzle your way through some of the rest. Please make a record of your diagrams as you work. If you reach out to me for some help, I can take a look at your diagram and see where you might be misunderstanding the problem or where you might need just some help in your strategy on how to approach it. All right, everybody, have a good day.